Doom is one of the most iconic games ever and the one which shaped the entire FPS genre. Created in 1993 by id Software for MS-DOS and then ported for many consoles like Atari Jaguar, SNES, 3DO, Sega 32X, Sega Saturn, PS1 and Game Boy Advance. I also cannot omit the port for Windows 95, which Bill Gates promoted in a commercial, wearing a coat and holding a shotgun while being in an actual game.
Make the tools to make the platform better and better.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt me.
Because of Doom's light source code, which id Software released for public in 1997, Doom can be played literally on anything. Fridge, microwave oven, toaster, thermostat, printer, calculator powered by 700 potatoes, car dashboard, smartwatch, ATM, piano, Lego bricks, and on top of all, pregnancy test. After finding this out, I'm seriously disappointed that our microwave cannot run Doom, so I will probably return it back to the store. Anyways, let's look at the cover art for PS1 version. I kinda like it, but I honestly prefer the PC cover with the Doom guy in his armor, which was basically the same for every console except the exception of Sega Saturn. I read that the reason for a different cover art for PS1 is that it was basically a version on its own, combining Doom 1 and Doom 2 with some unique levels. The developer was a company called Williams and not id Software, so that might be also the reason why we have a different cover here. Fun fact is that this PS1 port runs on a modified version of the Doom engine used in the Atari Jaguar port. Official UK PS1 magazine gave it a 9 out of 10, saying that it is easy to see why Doom was one of the biggest games on the PC. Compelling gameplay with a spine-tingling atmosphere and a sense of urgency. I will start the review unusually with the game's soundtrack. I have never played the PS1 version before, so this is what I expected to hear at the start of the game. And this is what I got instead. I was slightly disappointed at first, but then I realized how awesome this soundtrack is. It is very moody, dark and atmospheric, which to me makes this version a bit more scarier than the other ones. It gives this version a more serious and horrorish vibes and make you feel more alone and helpless. Graphics might look dated for many people, but for me they are absolutely timeless. Enemy sprites look as good as ever, lighting of the levels is great, and the flaming sky left me amazed when I first saw it. Also, the frame rate is very smooth and I had no issues while playing it, even with more enemies on the screen. Some places were a bit darker to see, but nothing to be concerned with. The best looking thing in Doom for me are the guns and especially their animation while reloading. That is also why my favorite weapon is the super shotgun, because I just love watching it move up and down after blasting the enemies. Speaking of guns, you just got to love the variation here. From a regular pistol to ass-whopping plasma guns, the game has it all. The most fun is probably the chainsaw, but you obviously need to get close to the enemies to kill them with it. There are a total of 54 levels to complete, which is a massive number for its time, and it can take you about 8 hours to beat the game. 30 levels in Doom 1 and 24 in Doom 2. The variety is quite good for its time. You get some closed corridors, then open air areas or a mix of both. Plus some secret passages, most of which I couldn't find cause I'm not that knowledgeable of them. I would say that the replayability is very strong here, because you can try to beat the game on 4 difficulty levels and maybe find some secrets that you have missed the first time, like me. I also cannot omit the multiplayer, which for many people is the reason why they love this game so much. I'm not much of a multiplayer guy, but games like Doom make you love them, especially when you have some friends around you who share the same passion. One last thing I need to mention is the map in these games. I never like to use maps in video games, I don't know why, but sometimes it is absolutely necessary. In Doom 2 I had to use it a couple of times, and I have to praise the game designers for implementing the idea of a map in which you can actually walk while viewing it, and then you appear at the exact spot when you turn it off. I didn't know about this cool feature and it left me positively surprised. Doom 1 is a clear 10 out of 10 for me, but Doom 2 fails to fill its predecessor's shoes in my opinion. The levels are bigger and more variable, with more enemies popping up, but to me it feels less interesting and engaging. Also, the pacing of the game is worse compared to the first game. I sometimes felt bored because I was lost in the vast levels, with all the enemies dead, just looking for a switch or door that I missed. First Doom feels like a non-stop action, while the second one doesn't. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad game at all, but I just didn't have as much fun as I had with the first one. Because of that, I would give it a 7 out of 10, which will make the overall score of this compilation a 9 out of 10. On my PS1 tier list I will place it behind Apes Odyssey because I love that game more, but ahead of Quake 2, which was a very difficult decision to make, but I just love Doom more. That is all from me for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to leave a comment if you have ever played this version and also what do you think of it. And remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.